Srilata is from Dallas, Texas. Srilata understood little spirituality from her father, who used to take her to visit temples with him and immersed in the little bhakti. Her spiritual journey again took a transformative turn in 2018 when she discovered the Pyramid Spiritual Societies movement through a friend. Anapanasati meditation sparked an instant inner shift and deeper connection with Patriji, whom she witnessed personally in Dallas. She continues through her profound experiences. Today, she joyfully participates through PSSM, a platform that nourishes her creativity and spiritual expression. A loving mother of two, she walks the path of service with gratitude and grace. Thank you so much, Rilita, for giving your time with us and sharing the wisdom with us. The stage is all yours, please.
Thank you, Kalpana, for the wonderful meditation experience and also the introduction. Ah, welcome everyone, and thank you all for being here today. Today, like Kalpana mentioned, we will be exploring the four agreements, four simple but yet very powerful principles that can transform how we think, how we communicate, and how we respond to our life. Before we deep dive into the topic, the four agreements, I would like to start with some introduction regarding Toltec wisdom. So, the Toltecs were the ancient Mesoamericans who flourished from Mexico. The Toltecs emphasized on awareness and discipline of the mind and also the personal transformation. So the four agreements comes from that ancient Toltec wisdom and gives us four simple rules that helps us reduce stress, improve relationships, and bring inner peace. So Don Miguel Ruiz drew inspiration from these ancient ideas, simplifying them into what we now call the four agreements. A practical guide to living with more clarity and peace. Today, we are going to explore each of these agreements with reflection and awareness. Even though they seem very simple, they're not always easy. But each agreement has a power to reduce stress, drama, and the emotional burden. So now, let's go on one by one with each one of the agreement, okay? So agreement number one is be impeccable with your words. So the first agreement, be impeccable with your word. Impeccable means without fail, meaning without sin. So this agreement is about using your words with kindness, integrity, and awareness. Our words are like seeds, like we whatever we speak, they grow. This includes the way we talk to others and the way we also talk to ourselves. Let's look at few examples today. So instead of saying instead of saying okay, being very hard on yourself, saying like, okay, oh, I hate this, I can never do this, right? You can kindly rephrase that like, I'm learning, I'll get better. Or if you're engaged in a conversation with a friend or somebody about gossiping about someone, choose to stay neutral. Again, another example, instead of saying, you always mess things up, saying, let's work on this with a different approach next time. Now, On the first agreement, be impeccable with your words. Now, take a quick moment and think, what is that one negative phrase you often say to yourself? I'll pause for 10 seconds here. And now, how can you rephrase it with kindness?
Hmm.
Something that uplifts instead of pulling you down. When we become more impeccable with our words, our relationships, our confidence, and our emotional world starts to shift. That is about be impeccable with our word. That's the first one. Good. Thanks, Kalpana. Now, moving to the second agreement, don't take anything personally. The second agreement is don't take anything personally means um, doesn't mean that you stop caring. It just means that you stop assuming that everything people say or do is about you or us. Everyone lives in their own reality, shaped by their own experiences and beliefs and stresses too, right? So now, the most of these reactions come from their world, not ours, if you think about it like that. Let me give you a simple example. Like, your manager seems to be irritated today, not because of you, but because he might be stressed. Someone criticizes you harshly, that's usually about their expectations and frustrations. It's not your worth. Another one, which is a very common one, a friend doesn't reply quickly. It doesn't mean that they don't care. It's just that they might be overwhelmed. Now, again, take a quick moment. When was the last time you took something personally that might not have been about you? I'll pause for 10 seconds again here. So, when we stop taking things personally, we create emotional freedom. We stop observing other people's storms. Now, moving to agreement number 3, don't make assumptions. Don't they sound very simple? So, the third agreement is don't make assumptions. And we all do this. We fill in the blanks when we lack information. But assumptions lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, and unnecessary sufferings. Example, a friend doesn't respond. We assume that they're upset with us. At work, we think somebody understood our instructions, but maybe they didn't. We believe people just, we believe that, people just know, just, we assume that, okay, they know without even communicating. Solution, ask questions, communicate clearly. Clarity creates peace. So now let's reflect quietly. What's one area where you often make assumptions? Relationships, work, or family? I'll pause for 10 seconds here again. Now imagine how communication in that area would change if you simply asked for clarification or clarity. Now, moving to the final and the fourth agreement, always do your best. The fourth agreement is always do your best. It doesn't mean perfection, it just means sincerity. The best changes from day to day. So, your energy levels are not the same every day or every time of the day. On a high energy day, your best might be very amazing. On a low energy or a stressful day, your best might be just simply showing up. When you are overwhelmed, your best might be just resting. That is completely okay. This agreement helps us release guilt, self judgment, and regret. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, can I be gentler with my expectations of myself? Or just ask, what does my best look like today? Now, we talked about all four agreements. Let me just summarize what they are. Agreement number one is be impeccable with your words. Agreement number two, don't take anything personally. Agreement number three is don't make assumptions. And agreement number four is always do your best. So, these four agreements work beautifully together. When we speak kindly, we create clarity. When we don't take things personally, we protect our peace. When we avoid assumption, we build better relationships. And when we do our best, the final one, we reduced regret and self judgment. Together, they help us grow in life with more awareness, emotional balance, and compassion. So that's all about the four agreements here. And you're all welcome to share your reflections. Thank you. Thank you all for being here on a Saturday and listening to this wisdom. Thank you.
That beautiful wisdom, Srilata garu. It's simple but very difficult to handle. As you were saying all those four agreements, I'm like, I had the reflection is like, oh, I did this today only. I had this issue situation today only. So it's beautiful, and I love the way how you explain expectation give you frustration, frustration give you a lot of issues in the relationship. So it's such a beautiful one. But always make sure to have those four agreements in our as a handy kind of thing.
Yes, yeah, that's the reason I just wanted to summarize. So that like I said, like four agreements work beautifully together. It's it just gives you that transformation.
Yeah. Thank you, Shrilta. Thank you so much. Um, Before we'll go to the Q&A. I just want to bring up Ganesh Garu onto the stage so that he can share his experience sharing with us. Ganesh Master, please unmute yourself and
Thank you so much, Kalpana. And it was a wonderful, it's in a four agreements. Just I'm relating myself and how it is. Sometimes, most of the times, we take it as in a personal. If somebody is a boss or someone is telling, so yeah, this is that's a both a very it looks like in a very small, but it is giving very high impact. Thank you so much for sharing those. Thank you, Kalpana, for giving this opportunity. Yeah, hi, all masters. Just I want to share myself. Just I started meditation around not even more than 6 months, but mostly I'm participating in person and as well as evening 9 to 10 sessions. And few days I participated in morning sessions, but I missed few. How it is impacting my daily activities and those kind of I want to share with you guys. Just how we react and respond. Mostly, I observed this thing before, whenever I personally in family, whenever kids, I have two kids. Uh, my son and daughter, they are very active, and sometimes whenever I am working, they disturb. Previously, I used to react to them I shout sometimes, and after that I realized why I'm doing this one. They don't know, right? They are kids, but after that but it's everything. It is happened kind of. But now, instead of that, just I'm observing if they are crying. Just instead of reacting, just seeing and observing. After that, they calm down. If I am observing after 2 3 times looks and they stop crying or something, and after that they are listening my word. How it is impacting, how it is changing drastically, and this is looks like in a very small. But I remember if sometimes if you shout, next time they think whenever they're crying or something, instead of sharing all these things, they might be feel it is in a I should not cry or some kind of it is a I felt like it is not a right way to handle kind of. It is I learned this is the one thing. And other thing is in job or something work pressure, these are all things also. It is kind of still I'm thinking it is I'm a beginner. I'm treating myself it is in a beginner. I'm not that much to um, explain, but it is kind of it is changing myself and things and my habits. Few, not all, but a few. I'm able to change uh, even food habits or something. So I'm able to control whatever I'm thinking instead of we know, right, our how our mind and our um, heart kind of whenever we it is in our mind always uh, influence us to do some losing control even in food or something. If it is in instead of that which is good or bad and how to control ourselves, I'm just learning, and it is in implementing in my day to day life. It is changing myself. I am observing myself. So that is, it is in work location or how our productivity will increase or how our learnings it is can impact. If we are spending previously, I used to think 1 hour means it is yeah, that is a waste of time or something. And we can that same time if we spend in we can study or something. I used to thought, but it is that 1 hour we waste with some other activities or some gossips or some meeting and just sitting with someone and spending time, and it's that 1 hour we are wasting. Instead of that, if we are spending some time whenever we get any time, and if we are same like a punctuality or consistency, yeah, I'm trying to maintain full consistency, but still I am losing. I'm thinking so I should be a lot to more learn and all these things to implement and uh, in my life to implement all these things. So it is instead of wasting that kind of time, if I'm spending here and the next after that it is in a productivity or anything, our attitude or our thinking, how our mindset is changing, something not 100% I can say, but it is in a little bit what is how our emotions and all these things. I'm thinking it is in a, yeah, we can control some, that is not my hand. Sometimes we say it is after happens anything with any friend or anyone like yeah, it is already happened, that was not in my hand. But we can control everything with building the relationship and with new friends or anything. Our emotions, our attitude, everything can control with our meditation. I'm observing this. So thank you so much for my masters too who introduced, and it is an I hope will continuing more, and I will be improve more a lot. I'm thinking so. Yeah, thank you so much for giving this opportunity, Kalpana. Back to you.
Thank you, Ganesh. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. That's wonderful that you are uh, implementing it and experiencing it. That's the
Yeah,
most
just Yeah,
important thing.
just I want to tell you one more thing is like if we keep in a one glass of water and if we keep a straw and rotating water, always it will shakes, right?
Yeah,
So just it is in a we remove, and if we keep our half an hour or 20 minutes, that will be stable and we can observe what is inside that.
yeah,
So it is in
so
a
true.
yeah, it is what is that? It is good or bad? What is that? We can see at least.
Hmm.
I'm thinking it is in a yeah ourselves we can see if we calm down sometime. It means it is in a what we can call it is meditation or just anapanasati or whatever it is called in a different ways. Many people are telling, but calm down
Hmm.
ourselves inner, then we will with very consciously we can live together. That's
Awesome. Awesome. Great. Thank you so much, Ganesh, for sharing that. Let me